This message comes from Monday.com, the first work platform you'll love to use. Meet Monday Sidekick, your AI-powered work BFF that handles everything for you, from daily briefings to risk analysis. Start your free trial at Monday.com.
Hey, it's Peter. Coming up, we have another episode of How to Do Everything made by Wait producers Mike Danforth and Ian Chillag. Now, this week, filmmaker Alice Wu will explain a clever trick that helped her finally finish her screenplay, plus why teenagers are taking over the comment sections of old NPR podcast episodes to hang out. Once again, everybody, How to Do Everything will not live in this feed forever. So be sure to get out of here and follow them at their own feed. Frankly, I'm just tired of them taking up space around here. Take it away, Mike and Ian.
Who doesn't have problems with motivation?
Not us. Not me.
Nobody. Nobody doesn't have problems with motivation. Alice Wu, the filmmaker behind the movies Saving Face and The Half of It, was really stuck when she was trying to write a script, and she came up with a way to finally make herself do it.
I thought, I should write my second film. I then proceeded to spend 6 months lying on the floor of my office, staring at the ceiling, being like, why am I so terrible? Why is everything so terrible? I'd write a sentence, I'd delete it. I knew I had to get over that hump. Mm-hmm. And so I then thought, I need to find a consequence that is so terrible that I can't possibly live with myself. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to write a check to the NRA for $1,000, and I'm going to give it to, my best friend is the one person I know who, because she gave me her word, would do it. And I was like, I'm giving you this check. I'm giving myself 5 weeks to write this first draft. On August 8th, if this thing is not written, I'll have 2 people read it and confirm. It can be terrible, but it has to be a fully formed first draft. And if it's not, you're sending that check in. And then I proceeded to tell everyone in my life because I would constantly get texts from friends like, you better not be a donor to the NRA. I think at one time I sent a friend an otter video and she was like, why aren't you writing? So it worked. I got it written. And that's how that script became my second film.
Do you think your friend would have actually sent it in?
1,000%.
Really?
Yeah, she's my best friend. Yes, absolutely. She would have sent it in. CJ, she's a butch firefighter. She would have sent it in. If she were here, I'm sure she would tell you that all the horribly shameful things she would then do to me as she sent it in.
$1,000, that's a lot of money. That's that's a certain tier that is not entry level.
Yes.
Right? That's we know this from our public radio experience. That's a leadership level amount. You'll probably get a T-shirt. You might even get a free gun with that.
You know what? I had not thought of the perks. That I'd become a social pariah amongst all Asian lesbians as I wore my NRA lobby. Basically, I would die alone, but I would have a free shirt, is what you're telling me.
A free shirt at least, and probably once a year birthday announcement, I would think. Yeah. This is How to Do Everything. I'm Mike.
And I'm Ian. Coming up, we're going to get to more of your out-of-office messages. But first, there's a little mystery here at NPR.
A few podcasts have been noticing something strange. Theo Guerin works on TED Radio Hour. Theo, can you tell us about this?
Yeah, so one of my responsibilities on my team is to monitor our Spotify comments. And for the most part, we mostly get really nice comments or people engaging with our content, giving constructive feedback or saying how much they liked it. But about 3 weeks ago, I noticed kind of a different floodgate situation. And the first instance was only about 20 comments.
20 comments on one episode.
20 comments on one episode that came out 3 years ago. Yeah. And all the comments kind of had the same, no, you're so pretty. You're so pretty. And I was really trying to rack my brain about the content of this episode 3 years ago to be is there a discussion about beauty standards that they are trying to engage with? Yeah. And then about a week later, they struck again, but this time hitting the comments hit into the 90s.
Wow.
And then I kind of felt like, okay, really needs to be something we're flagging. And when I brought it up, it seemed like other teams had also been privately sitting on this very odd situation.
Other shows at NPR.
Yeah, other shows at NPR.
Well, so what's your theory? So I guess we're all kind of still figuring out what's happening here. But what's your theory on who's doing this and why they're doing it?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely can't say exactly like who these people are or why they're doing this. But my sense is that they're kids. One of the theories that some other folks have put forward is that maybe this is just a way to get around a classroom phone-free situation. Like maybe they can have their laptops out, but they can't have Instagram open, or Spotify is the only thing they're allowed to have. I don't actually know. I mean, it seems like a workaround for sure.
It's brilliant because, like, what could be less worrying to a teacher or a parent who might be catching, a look at one of these kids' phones that they're listening to NPR's TED Radio Hour with their friends?
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
What is the episode? What's an episode where you've noticed this? I just want to bring it up and see if I can find it.
Yeah. And to your point, it is definitely the kind of episode that I'm sure a teacher would not bat an eye at. But one of the episodes was called "What Leadership Looks Like." I think my sense from digging into it a little bit and following the usernames was effectively they make a playlist that has just one podcast, and that podcast becomes kind of the graffiti space, I guess, of this. I don't know. It feels like a pop-up conversation.
It's like it's kind of like a dead drop, like a classic spy thing where there's this trash can, which nobody's thinking about. And since nobody's thinking about it, you can hide your messages for other spies there as long as they know they know the trash can to look for.
I love that. I didn't think about this in spy terms, but...
So basically, kids are using the comment sections of old episodes of NPR podcasts as little private social media chat rooms.
Yeah, they figured out that this is a space where they can speak freely and no one will find them.
There's an episode of TED Radio Hour where they're just talking about somebody's cat. They just got a cat.
Another thing that could be happening here, if your parents take your phone away, this is a way you could still talk to your friends.
Yeah, it's a prearranged thing. You say, if you don't hear from me, check my Spotify. I'll create a playlist. It'll have one episode in it. Go to those comments. That's where I'll be.
God bless these children.
It's brilliant. If any of you out there listening need a place to post secret messages or, want to communicate with somebody, feel free to use our comment sections.
And, if you're not a Spotify person, you can do it in reviews. So we'll keep an eye out, and anything we see that seems to have nothing to do with us, we'll just assume it's a secret message for someone else. Hey, if you have a question for us, no matter how big, how small, you can send it to us at howto@npr.org, and we will do our best to get it answered for you.
We will not stop until we find an answer for whatever question you have.
This message comes from Whole Foods Market. Save on delicious sweater weather favorites with 365 brand and see hundreds of yellow sale and low price signs store-wide. This message comes from AT&T. Whether you're calling your parents to say happy anniversary or checking in with your kids before bedtime, staying connected matters. That's why AT&T has connectivity you can depend on, or they'll proactively make it right. That's the AT&T Guarantee. Terms and conditions apply. Visit att.com/guarantee to learn more. AT&T. Connecting changes everything. This message comes from Charles Schwab. When it comes to managing your wealth, Schwab gives you more choices, like full-service wealth management and advice when you need it. You can also invest on your own and trade on Thinkorswim. Visit schwab.com to learn more. This message comes from Vital Farms, who works with small American farms to bring you pasture-raised eggs. Farmer Tanner Pace shares why he believes it's important to care for his land and how he hopes to pass the opportunity to farm onto his sons.
We're paving the way for a future. We only have one earth, and we have to make it count. Like my boys, I want to see them taking care of the land for them to be able to farm and then generations to come. I really enjoy seeing, especially my whole family up there working with me, and to be able to instill the things that my father, mother, and then grandparents instilled in me that I can instill in the boys. That's just the most rewarding thing that there could ever be. Vital Farms, they're motivated for the well-being of the animals, for the well-being of the land, the whole grand scope of things. They care about it all, and that means a lot to me.
To learn more about how Vital Farms farmers care for their hens, visit vitalfarms.com.
Support for this podcast and the following message come from Betterment. Don't just imagine a better future. Start investing in one with Betterment. Betterment helps people and small businesses put their money to work by automating to make saving simpler, optimizing to make investing smarter, and building innovative technology backed by financial experts. So be invested in yourself. Be invested in your business. Be invested in better with Betterment at Betterment.com. Investing involves risk. Performance not guaranteed.
We all know the phrase, steal your thunder. Our producer, Heena, her sister, would use the phrase. And for much of her life, Heena thought her sister had invented it.
I just idolized her. I thought that everything that came out of her mouth was amazing because she was my older sister. And I thought she invented the phrase stealing my thunder as well. And then I would use it, and she would yell at me for stealing her thunder.
She would yell at you for saying the phrase, stealing my thunder.
Yeah, she'd be like, you got that from me.
Oh.
So in order to save Heena's relationship with her sister, we're going to find out where the phrase really came from. Lexicographer Susie Dent knows the answer. Susie, what can you tell us?
I'm so happy that you asked me this one because for lexicographers, it's pretty rare to find the exact moment that a word or phrase was born. So we usually have some idea of the chronology, a decade, probably a year if we're lucky. But the exact moment is really rare. But we do know with this one. And we have to go back to the 5th of February, 1709. And we're talking about a playwright stroke critic called John Dennis, who had written a rather boring, apparently pretty turgid play called Appius in Virginia. Didn't have much going for it, except he had perfected for his drama a machine that reproduced the sound of thunder. It was pretty impressive, but even with this sound effect, the play closed after a really short run. And the play that succeeded his was the Scottish play, shall we say, by Shakespeare.
Okay.
And John Dennis went along to see the opening night, which was pretty decent of him, given that his play closed. Anyway, he was all ready for a lovely night until the witches' scene arrived, and he heard booming out from the stage the sound of his very own machine. And contemporaries of the time wrote up accounts afterwards and said, he stood up and shouted something like, "Damn them, they will not let my play run, but they steal my thunder."
Wow.
So it's almost pretty literal, but not quite. But yeah, born in the theatre. It's just such a good story.
Do you know, Susie, then when it was picked up and used again? Because it's one thing to say something. It's another thing for someone to be like, well, as John Dennis said the other night, someone's going to steal his thunder.
That is a really, really good point. And believe it or not until 1900, according to the OED. So we know that it came from that utterance of John Dennis. And it must have been quoted and re-quoted, but then had to become really embedded in the language before it was used freely without any reference to that event.
Yeah.
So it took a while. But for him, it's quite sad that this is his enduring legacy, I suppose.
Yeah, kind of his lowest moment. When he stood up and had a bad threw a tantrum, basically, and everybody wrote it down, and that's forevermore what we think of with him.
Yes, exactly.
I don't know. I mean, who knows if we would remember his name. You know, this is the way he has persisted, at least most broadly, through history, you know?
Well, yeah.
We know this work of his more than any other.
It actually...
I've not read Happiest in Virginia, but maybe
it
I
actually
should.
makes you think maybe being generous isn't such a good thing, right? Because if he had stood up and said, well,
Bravo.
please, yeah, thank you. Well, good use of my thunder. That's not a phrase people are going to repeat.
Yeah, that is actually very true.
Lexicographer Susie Dent's adult fiction debut, Guilty by Definition, is out now.
As most of you know, we have offered to be your out-of-office email emergency contact during any breaks that you might be taking. And to our great surprise, a lot of you are still doing it.
Yeah, you're actually doing it. We just got an email here from a shipping company about a problem with some freight. And this seems, I'm going to say, dangerously outside of our ability to help. So let's see what we can do.
Thank you for calling Center. This is Courtney. How may I assist you today?
Hello, Courtney. My name is Mike. I'm calling about an email I got. Should I give you the reference number?
Yes, sir, please.
1028774.
And do you have a bill of lading number starting with a 12?
I'm afraid I don't have anything. We just got an email from you, and I'm wondering if it came from an out-of-office message from somebody named Corey. So I guess my question is, do you still need information from Corey, and how can we help?
All right. So this was for a discrepancy on his shipment.
Yeah.
Did he leave a phone number?
801.
Corey, are you there?
I'm here.
Hey, it's Mike and Ian calling.
Hey, good to talk to you guys.
So tell us what's going on. What happened?
Yeah, so I run 3 Bricks and Minifigs. It's like a buy-sell trade Lego store. And part of it, we do custom builds for people. So we built this amazing 4-foot by 4-foot custom build of a factory in California. We're located in Utah, so I had to ship it to them. And I confirmed that they were not going to use a liftgate delivery because that costs extra and we didn't need it.
Yeah.
But they used it anyway and charged me for it.
Yeah, so we got an email from a customer service representative. In order to dispute this charge, we will need a photo of the forklift or dock used at the delivery location to unload the freight. Do you have a photo?
No, because they didn't have a forklift or a dock, and it wasn't needed because the crate that we shipped was small enough just to hand offload. So I'm kind of up a creek here.
Yeah.
You guys have a picture of a dock or a forklift you could send them?
I'm sure we could get one.
I definitely could send them a picture of a forklift. When you say you do custom builds, so like, tell us more about that. I don't know about this.
So I mean, you know, Lego puts out kits. Well, sometimes a customer wants or a company wants a custom designed kit. We design those things, make instructions, kit them up, and then give them to companies for gifts or employee awards or things like that.
Wow. How'd you get into this? Were you just a big Lego fan and then you made it your career?
Sort of. Lego was like my thing as a kid, as a young kid, and then I gave it all away when I was a teenager because I was too cool for it. And then I grew up and went to therapy and realized that I had, besides giving away my Lego, had put my inner child, my younger self, locked away in a closet, and that was affecting my life. So got to know my inner child again, and all he wanted to do was play with Lego. So I kind of got back into it, bringing lots of joy to lots of people.
That's phenomenal. Wow. Well, we talked to Courtney. She told us that the bill had been paid, but I guess we didn't do, Ian, I don't think we did enough due diligence, and we didn't follow up on the photo dispute part of it.
Could you build them a Lego forklift so that they could do this properly next time?
That's a great idea. Maybe I'll do that. I'll send them a picture of a Lego forklift and just say, hey, here's your forklift.
Now give me my $700. If for whatever reason you want us to be your out-of-office email contact, just copy and paste the text in today's show notes into your out-of-office email, and we will do our best to at least help you as much as we helped Corey,
who we did not help at all. Well, that does it for this week's show. What we learned today, Mike?
I learned that our old podcast episodes, even though they're old and we don't think they have any use anymore, are actually providing a service to today's young people.
Here's an episode of Wild Card, the NPR podcast, which is an interview with Elizabeth Gilbert, author of Eat, Pray, Love. One of the comments is, last Friday I broke up with my girlfriend. I think one piece of advice that might be helpful is...
As Elizabeth Gilbert, author of Eat, Pray, Love said, having a broken heart is a good sign, because it means you tried for something.
How to Do Everything is produced by Schuyler Swenson and Heena Srivastava. Technical direction from Lorna White.
Some of the music you heard in this episode was from Moby Gratis. You can get us your questions at howto@npr.org. I'm Ian.
And I'm Mike.
Thanks.
This message comes from Vital Farms, who works with small American farms to bring you pasture-raised eggs. Farmer Tanner Pace shares a moment that brings him a sense of purpose.
I think that when the barn doors open and the hens run to the paddocks, you can truly see what a happy hen really is. I love pasture-raised eggs because you can see the work and the pride that the farmers have and have put into these eggs.
To learn more about how Vital Farms farmers care for their hens, visit vitalfarms.com.
This message comes from KeyBank. Growing a successful business has never been easy. But whether you're navigating a complex industry or trying to reinvent one, KeyBank's breadth of banking experts are here to collaborate on market-proven solutions. At KeyBank, they're built to grow with your changing needs because they're not just there for the business you are now. They're there for the business you'll become. Reimagine business as usual. KeyBank opens doors. Learn more at key.com/B2B.